Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a squat day, but a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below, be greatly appreciated. So I finished my whole workout already. I just got back from sled dragging, so I'm slightly out of breath because I like to finish my squat days with a round of sled drags, and I like to do it as quickly as possible. So get in and do that before I voice over. All right, I threw the knee sleeves back on because I am now in meet prep. I'm back from vacation, done with the deload. And someone pointed out from the preview, it might have been a touch high. I don't think that it was, even looking at this front view. Again, if you look at the angle of the safety arms and everything, you can see that angle relative to my leg. I don't think it was, but I'm going to try to sink it a hair deeper next week. I'm going to come in and try to sink it deeper. But we're in a good place because this is just, another meet in Texas I'm doing coming up. Right, I want another practice run. I'm going to knock down my state records. I don't know. By the time I get to that meet, depending on how water cut goes, I might be ready to break the national record. Either way, we get to Worlds, we might get both on the squat. But this is 525. When I show you guys at the end, remember this is the Texas squat bar, which is 55 pounds. These are all calibrated plates. So when you do the math, it is 525. Doing this without wrist wraps, kind of finding my perfect grip position where I don't need the wrist wraps. I'm real comfortable with that low bar. I was a little bit wobbly today. The reason is I haven't squatted in 2 weeks. Right, I took last week off. And haven't squatted because I only squat once a week. So it felt a little bit off, and that'll go away coming up in the future. I won't really be doing weeks off. I'm adjusting what I'm doing with my vacations and travels. So, but I'm happy with that. 525, it moved real fast. It didn't feel like a max. I just felt a little wobbly. I felt like I left pounds in the tank. And I think it will pass on depth, but I looked and definitely that those ramp ups were a little deeper. They were definitely deeper. So I need to focus on sinking that just a hair deeper. And I think it's the combination of having not done any squats for 2 weeks and throwing the sleeves back on, and I haven't worn those in a couple months. Might have thrown off that a little bit, so I need to fix it. And I have time to fix it. I'm going to get several more squat sessions in with those sleeves on. All right, and in keeping with my theme, really a lot of my training is going to be slightly more bench specialized at this point. My volumes on a lot of my lower stuff, particularly squat related, are at the minimums I need to get stronger. It's like I've said in statuses and other stuff. I don't think I need that amount of volume. Really, weak point training is the only thing that needs more than 10 or 11 sets per week. So that's going to be bench related muscles. They're going to get a little more, but they're going to get a little more. And I did start doing a little bit of light band work on my off days. For those curious, I don't count it as true training, because we're doing really high reps with little bitty light bands. Might add some hypertrophy, mostly for tendon health, some rear delts and pull aparts for shoulder health. Been doing a few band press downs. And of course, you guys see me kind of do the ab work some on off days. I tried to do a couple sets on most of the off days. So really on off days, we're just doing walking with the weight vest, a little band work, some abs. 3 real training days. So accordingly, what do we do here? 6 sets of belt squats, 6 sets of 5. 6 sets of 5. And I got plenty of burn on these. Although I noticed I felt like I could get a hair deeper if I brought the footing in just a bit closer to what I just did for squatting. Because I've actually been doing the belt squats wider than I squat. First 3 sets I went a little wider, and I noticed it didn't feel that great even on my knee tendons, my patellar tendons. So I brought it in closer to what my squat looks like. It still might be an inch wider than my squat. And felt much better for the last 3 sets. And again, with the 5s and everything, what I'm doing is these really deep positions, the positions that really give us the most benefit. They also put the most wear and tear on us, and something I have to think about again as a master's lifter in my late 40s now is that wear and tear. And I would rather do 5s on a lot of these movements like this and say how much total volume do I need and don't do any more. Like even the 6x5, that's plenty. Because, you know, if we count the ramp up to the training max as maybe a set, this is 6 sets, and then I count the sled drags as a set. So what is that, 7 to 8 sets for my quads, adductors, glutes, all that? It's pretty good because we'll get some more from the deadlift day, the deadlifts or quads. But I'm trying to do the real volume with stuff that doesn't put us into a deeper joint angle. So we do the real work there, and then, the conditioning stuff. It's still going to add quad hypertrophy. But my quads don't really take much of the brunt. I've noticed, especially when I throw those knee sleeves on and I'm out real wide, my quads just aren't really a limiting factor on my squat. I've got big quads. They don't really seem to be a limiting factor. A lot of it's things like adductors, glutes, low back. Like, it's not even my upper back. My upper back's good at this point. And I've thought about throwing some good mornings in. And I might start doing some of that on the squat days. We may start doing some of that. Just because I get a lot out of good mornings. Get a lot out of them. Especially if you want to keep getting stronger. I'd like to break the world record for my class, in the IPL and USPA, which is, again, the biggest untested fed. I'd like to do that, but I want to be able to get quite a bit higher because honestly, the squat records are not super high for my class. The world record's almost low-hanging fruit, really. So realistically, over time, I'd like to be able to beat that by 30, 40, 50 pounds or more. So even if I set it, I want to get ahead of it. Because someone else really strong could turn 45, walk into the 90 kilo, especially if they're short, and I could be in trouble. So I need to push it up higher, which is the other reason I keep dieting. I'm still dieting down leaner. I'm going to have to get leaner and leaner. And, some people are like, how lean do you got to get? I'm like, I am slightly tall for my weight class, guys. As a power lifter, I'm slightly tall for my weight class. I've got to get lean. To be real competitive, I need to maximize body composition. So we're going to continue to work on that. We're going to get leaner. I'm probably going to have to get pretty ripped. Maybe, not quite bodybuilder contest rip, but pretty lean. So afterwards, we did 5x5 on the glute ham raises. Again, my favorite hamstring exercise, but it also works the glutes. And I feel like glutes are definitely limiting my deadlift a little, but we get a little more glute work on deadlift day because we do the deadlifts. I'm probably going to do reverse hypers and stuff on that day also. So the glutes are getting a lot of work, but I do feel like they're my current limit on my deadlift. So I want to bring those up and just bring up this posterior chain in general. And these work adductors and stuff too, stuff that carries over to my squat. So I'm tending to do it as its own leg day, right? Since squat day, leg day, we're doing the glute ham raises here. And then I did a round of sled drags after this. But I'm pretty happy with today's lift. It moved plenty fast, didn't feel that heavy. I would like to have sunk it an inch or two deeper, but I'm happy with it. So I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.